It's time now for business. Kate Moody's joined us. A major French car maker is the latest to join the corporate exodus from Russia. Exodus, tell us more.
Well, just hours after it was singled out by the Ukrainian President Zelensky in his address to French Parliament, Renault said that it was suspending all manufacturing in Russia until further notice. It already had been forced to temporarily halt activity at its Moscow factory because of a shortage of parts. But after the Ukrainian leader called for a boycott of the brand, Renault's board of directors appeared to bow to pressure this Wednesday evening. It said it was also considering how to handle its two-thirds stake in Russian carmaker Avtovaz. Renault is the Western car maker most exposed to the Russian market. Russia accounts for about 8% of its overall earnings, and Renault employs some 45,000 local staff there. The French government is Renault's biggest shareholder, and the brand's continued presence in Russia had sparked controversy, especially as rivals like Volkswagen and Volvo halted all business, including exports, earlier in the crisis. Another French firm distancing itself from Moscow, the drug maker Sanofi said this Wednesday it would immediately stop new spending that was not linked to essential or life-saving medicine and vaccines in both Russia and its ally Belarus. The pharmaceutical giant said it stood in opposition to the Russian war in Ukraine. Well, commodities like oil and gas are usually bought and sold in dollars or sometimes in euros. But now Russian President Vladimir Putin says that trust in those currencies has been undermined because of Western sanctions against his government. All European and American customers will now have to pay for their gas imports in rubles. Russia provides about 40% of Europe's natural gas, although the bloc is trying to reduce its reliance, and Putin said he would not altogether cut supplies.
In the last few weeks, there were unlawful measures taken against Russia by a number of Western countries to freeze Russian assets. By doing this, the collective West has undermined the reliability of their currencies. I'd like to underline that Russia will continue to supply natural gas according to the volumes and the prices fixed in the pre-agreed contracts.
And that move is likely aimed, at least in part, at shoring up the ruble, which has lost a quarter of its value against the dollar over the past month. The Russian currency did gain around 7% after Putin's announcement on Wednesday. Western allies have largely blocked the flow of their own currencies to Russia with wide-reaching sanctions, although there have been exceptions for energy imports. It's not clear where European or other customers might access rubles in order to pay for their outstanding orders, so the changes will mean significant practical hurdles. Germany's economy minister said Putin's announcement amounted to a breach of contract. He said the EU is discussing how to respond. Let's check in on the day's trading action now. Wall Street has closed in the red, losses of around 1%, just a bit more across the board there. The Dow Jones losing 400 points at the closing bell. Stocks under pressure as oil prices climbed again because of supply concerns. US WTI at around $115 per barrel. The international benchmark Brent crude over 121. Earlier, the major European indices closed lower, losses of around 1% in both Paris and Frankfurt. Russia's stock market is set for a partial reopening on Thursday, nearly a month after its shares plummeted and all trading was stopped following the invasion of Ukraine. In the UK, consumer prices rose at their fastest pace since 1992 in February. Inflation hit 6.2% last month. The government now expects that figure to hit a 40-year high of 8.7% by the end of this year. The rising cost of energy is the primary factor in that inflation spike. The cost of living crisis dominated the British government's spending plans. In a budget update, the finance minister unveiled measures to help low and middle-income families, including a slight reduction in income taxes for some and a one-year cut in the tax on petrol.
I can announce, for only the second time in 20 years, fuel duty will be cut. Yeah. Not by 1, not even by 2, but by 5 pence per litre. Yeah. The biggest cut to all fuel duty rates ever. And while some have called for the cut to last until August, I have decided it will be in place until March next year, a full 12 months.
Mark, a lot of criticism already that those measures don't go far enough. Of course, the cost of living crisis, a dominant theme in many countries around the world at the moment.
It is a massive problem in the UK. I know that for a fact. Kate, thank you very much indeed. Kate Moody with all the business there. Great to see you.